Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my issue for Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for Mighty Morphin Issue 12. First of all, sorry these reviews have been so late. I know that if the future timeline is correct, this is going out the same day as 11. The reviews just kind of sneak up on me with these, especially in the last couple weeks when things have been really busy as far as stuff to cover with Dino Fury. But let's go ahead and get into this issue. I thought it was another solid issue. Something I thought was interesting about both issues 11 and 12 is that they were both kind of simultaneously stepping stone issues while also being eventful, meaning they're both issues that are clearly leading to a bigger, more plot-heavy story and issue, and they're kind of, not filler, but you know what I mean, stepping stone, but at the same time there's lots of stuff to dig into within it. And this one was basically about Zordon finding out that his friend Zardis is done been evil now, and revealing it to the Rangers, and revealing that the Imperials are working for him, and him sort of coming to terms with that. And he also learns that Zed is Zorfram for the first time, which I thought was interesting. I wasn't sure if he knew or not, and to be honest, I didn't even think about that. So I guess he didn't know. We also do get a flashback to Zorfram's funeral, since obviously he's not dead, which kind of sets the stage of the relationship between Zordon and Zardis and all that stuff. But the main thing of the issue is almost like the Revengers initiative, because you're getting revenge, you're getting revenge, you're getting revenge. I'm undecided. He's like assembling all the people that he basically betrayed. Not betrayed, but pushed away. And he's realizing they need help, and Kim's like, well, who are we going to get help from? You basically alienated everyone with your stupid Rangers Code of Honor crap. So it's kind of like this tour of going around to all the people that have been at odds with Zordon recently. And you have, I think it was Rocky, Aisha, was Adam there? Was it... Although was Phoebe there? Rocky, Adam, Aisha, and I think it's at least a couple of the new trio, and Tommy's there wearing a green outfit to show that he wears green sometimes, just like in the show. But they go to visit Grace, and they kind of try to talk to her and get her to help. And then while they're there, Tommy talks to Matt. And there's a couple good, like, one-on-one scenes in this issue. And the Matt-Tommy one is one of those. And I like that he brings up, like, you know, I know what it's like to be manipulated by someone as a Green Ranger, like with Rita. And he says, you know, Grace is no Rita, which I agree with. I think there's some interesting stuff there, which I don't think Grace is evil by any means. I think she's just someone with different methods, but I think there is a comparison to be drawn there, and I've always found that to be interesting ever since the beginning of the Green Ranger's introduction. I mean, there was visual parallels to the Green Ranger. I think it was the when Draken was recruited, there was a visual parallel to Rita standing behind him and then Grace standing behind the new Green Ranger. So I like that parallel. I thought it was an interesting discussion based off of that, and Tommy's giving him hell for outing his identity to the public, and he's like, you know, the mask isn't for you, it's for the ones you love. Except with the less cool voice. Like, not, I wouldn't say Matt was cool. Like, Batman's voice is cooler, and then I guess Tommy's, and then everyone else's voice in the world, and then mine. But you know what I mean. This isn't about voice rankings. I don't even know where I'm going. This isn't even the voice. Anyway, that was random. Aisha goes to see Billy after that and tells him to go apologize. And he should apologize, but I also think Zordon should see his point of view, but she's responsible for recruiting him. And then we also get a really nice scene. This was the other scene. I would say the two that I liked the most in terms of the more personal one-on-ones were the Tommy Matt one and then this Zordon and Zed scene. It was really interesting to see them talk when we find out Zordon didn't know the whole time and like why Zed didn't say it. And I'm interested to see some more flashbacks filling in some pieces because I'm curious when Zardis and Zed wound up not working together anymore. And obviously Zed's no fan of Zordon's, but he doesn't really... I missed it, which is possible. I should go reread it, but I didn't see anything about the same dialogue he had when he first woke up about being angry at Zordon for being the one to cause it. He was more like, oh, I just realized once I got this that there's the ones with power and those who don't. I'm like, oh, okay, so that generic villain motivation. But still, it was a really nice scene and it was really interesting. I'm interested to see where this goes in the future, if all the potential players are still around in the comic for this. But that was a nice scene. And then we end it with, well, actually, before that, I think it's Rocky, Kim, and Adam that go out to fight, and they get ambushed by Zardis' guardians. But then after that, Billy goes to apologize, and when he's in the middle of apologizing, Zordon's like, Billy, hide! And Billy hides, and Zardis shows up, and he tries to get Zordon to join him. And this was a really great moment. Probably my favorite Zordon moment in the comic so far, when he says, you know, you need to join us, you know, be Zordon of Eltar again. He's like, no, I'm Zordon of Earth. That was a good moment. And then he's like, so be it, and he crashes his windshield. That sounded weird. But he destroys his tube, and Billy's like, oh, my stars! And then it ends with Zardos being like, the war has begun. So it was a really impactful, interesting issue. Lots of really interesting interactions between characters. And again, that was the most I liked Zordon, and it kind of made all of the story worth it. I'm really eager to go back and reread this arc overall. I might wait for the big hardcover to come out or something and just kind of enjoy it all at once without having to worry about reviewing it, and kind of digest it knowing where it's going, because I've been really vocal about my dislike of Zordon during this arc. Because he's very my way or the highway, but I like that it's kind of leading somewhere to him realizing he can't hold on to those Altarian ways, and he has to find his new identity on Earth, which is his new home for a long time now. I thought that was really good. Do I think Zordon's dead? Probably not. I think it'll probably be like, oh no, Zordon's dead, and then they'll bring him back. They'll do like the Kumbaya movie thing or something. Just kind of like the Tommy thing, you know, when they killed Tommy off of Shattered Grid and they brought him back. I mean, on the one hand, I think that with this new found Zordon of Earth thing and the newfound revelation that Zed is Zorfram, I think there's lots of interesting territory to explore in the future in regard to the character of Zordon, and I'm curious to see what his interactions with the Omegas are like now. But on the other hand, I think it would be fundamentally interesting for Zordon to be killed at this point in the timeline. You know, given that we're off book because Shattered Grid changed the timeline in this universe, I would be really curious to see what do the rest of the events of MMPR and Zeo and Turbo in space look like without Zordon, you know, on the run. Who do they hold hostage? We're in space for the Rangers to find. Alpha? They're not going to care. I'm just kidding. But that would be interesting. Again, I doubt it would stick, but it was definitely a good cliffhanger. And this was an overall really solid issue. I would give it a 4. You know, like I said, some really interesting interactions and a really impactful ending that started kind of like, I guess it's funny calling this a stepping stone issue and it ends on such a cliffhanger, but it really propels us into the next big arc. But what did you guys think? Do you think Zordon is really killed? Would you like to see him killed? Not necessarily because you hate Zordon, but because you think there could be interesting story potential. Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.